Henry's retirement, take 2. The first one didn't work out so well in May. This one might have some inclement weather to deal with tomorrow. So I'm going to take a video now while the weather is holding, just in case we can't get this out again tomorrow for all of you to see. So there are some picture displays here in the front yard and the backyard. And the front yard shows especially the gardens, the front garden, which has changed dramatically since 2014 because the silver maple tree came down. Then I concentrated on making gardens and adding native plants, which are listed here for those of you who are interested in that kind of thing. We're standing underneath the tulip tree, which has grown tremendously since it was planted in 2013. So the gardens themselves are on their last legs. We scrounged around a couple weeks ago looking for some perennials that were still blooming. Some of those have already faded, but there is still a good display here. There's a really good stand of strawberries. And in our waterfall garden, a waterfall that I constructed a few years back, there's only a very tiny harebell that's still blooming. Over here on the other side, the magnificent New England aster is blooming profusely still. Prairie dock has long since gone, but it still stands proudly. And the garbage truck is coming to disturb my video. The bird feeders are empty right now to encourage birds to feed on seeds. Here's my rainwater collection system. So we'll move over to the backyard where most of the displays are. There's a picture of a boomerang that I made in 1973. A desk that I built early on, which I'm still using, and a couple of jobs, including my own bookcase that I did in Toronto yet. And of course I've owned 2 homes from 1986 till now that I worked on extensively. My family is here for the weekend, and I'm proud to have them as part of my life. Starting now with 1993. Don't have too many pictures before that. A number of jobs that have kept me busy since that time. Some of you will recognize some of these places. Mountain View Church, big job that I did in 2000. And there's me and my dad standing beside a construction job in 2002. And there's a dormer to our house, which has of course long since been finished and been put to good use. Pavilion that I made in 2008. And here's the backyard space that we hope to be able to use sometime in this weekend anyway, with family and perhaps with customers on Saturday. the display boards. Continue over here. You can see some of the paintwork that I've been doing in the past week. Changing the door color and the trim color, experimenting with that. Moving on to 2009. Kitchen some might recognize. Our own bathroom upstairs and kitchen cabinets. And now I'm moving to the last board at the back here. And finally, a few left at the other side of here, our basement bedroom that I've finished last year just before the pandemic hit, and then a few of the jobs that I've been working on since then. So I hope some of you can be here to look at this more closely and also to enjoy fellowship with my family and perhaps talk about gardening. Here's the perennial bed that has been the longest standing part of our gardens here at Stewart Avenue. And then a back shade garden, which I tore up completely this, except for some ferns, this spring, and tearing out goutweed and periwinkle and planting some more appropriate species. So this is a shop where I've done a lot of my work over the last 20 odd years, and I thank all of you for whom I've worked for the work that I could do.